My name is Brooke Cantor. I am a senior in Dunster House. My position is flanker, and I am one of the 3 captains of the Harvard varsity women's rugby team. I think that, especially in this country, there are a lot of misconceptions about rugby. The first of which is that girls shouldn't play rugby. I think rugby is a sport that all girls should try at some point because it is just so empowering. Rugby is extremely physical. It is all physical. Like basketball, you're not supposed to touch people. In rugby, you're not doing things right if you're not touching people. While that might scare people or seem intimidating to people, the physicality of rugby, when done right and when done confidently, it's actually very safe. It's more of a mental challenge than it is a physical challenge, which actually is why I believe rugby is such an empowering thing, especially for women. It allows us to overcome that mental challenge, and when you do that, it builds your confidence in ways that just translate beyond being on the rugby field. My freshman and sophomore year, we were a club sport, and then my junior year was our first year as a varsity sport. And that transition was a really big moment, obviously, for the history of Radcliffe Rugby, which is what we were known as before we became Harvard Rugby. It was wonderful because we've been wanting this for a really long time. It has allowed us to receive so much support from the athletic department. We have so many more resources. We have access to the training room now, which is huge, but we always make sure that we appreciate and recognize our Radcliffe roots. We were started in the 80s by a group of girls who just wanted to play rugby, and we had this sort of ragtag mentality. We'd drive ourselves to games, and it was just for pure love of the sport and pure love of the team. And I think that tradition of what that Radcliffe Rugby embodies is still at the core of Harvard women's rugby. I think the most fun thing is when you play those games that are so physically demanding and so mentally challenging, and you're playing with your team, and all of a sudden something absolutely beautiful happens on the field that is a result of your immense teamwork, and it results in that game-winning try. And there is no feeling that is as elated, that is as amazing as that. Those really rare moments are probably the most fun thing about being a rugby player. And I know that I have lifelong friends because of this decision that I made to join the rugby team.